Okay, so the other method I'm going to be using today is on this section of the car. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, but if you look at it, it's got a lot of road rash on it. Especially in the lower bits, you can really see that. And that is totally clean, but doesn't look clean because it has a lot of road rash on it. And what I've decided to use after watching it on the internet is this kit here by Paintgear. And what this does, what they give you essentially is a buffing sponge, but they give you these applicator pads, you see. So you have these applicator pads, have that drill for the buffing. You basically just get one paint, and this is the Emerald File Pearl, and it's just a base color which you apply onto this pad, rub it onto the rash, and then compound it down, and then it's supposed to be fantastic. So shall we try that? You see the rash on the car and the area that we'll be trying to cover. My main concern is that when I put the base coat on, will it change the color of the car? What I've seen do is really rub that in a bit more. But this is not going very well, I don't think. Oh God. What am I doing to my car? Oh shit, this is disintegrated. Paintgear. Cheers. Can we squidgy that in? Yes, we can. Just really work it in to the imperfections. And then shit, I really should get this off very, very quickly. So again, I'm going to use this compound. And by the way, I think this was a total disaster so far. So I wasn't expecting it to. This is not what it looked like on the internet. Yes, several microns later, that's finally come off. And most of the rash is gone. Some of the deeper ones will need to be sorted out with the other method. I can still see some of the new paint streaks here. Getting some of that excess paint off. And you can see this corner is definitely much better. It just doesn't have the same amount of imperfections it just did. So pleased with that. But there's a couple more important steps. Firstly, clean off the chemicals from the car. So just using a bit of degreaser, take it off. I'm going with a finishing compound. Use just a bit of finishing compound. That's good. I'm really happy with that. Now that I've degreased the surface, so I've used a heavy cut compound and I've gone with a polishing compound, and now I've degreased the surface and I'm going to cover it with some Simon's Original wax. And as far as I'm concerned, I've done what I could with this bumper corner. There's still some stone chips I could touch in using method 1, but I don't know. Like I said, it's a work in progress. Rome wasn't built in a day, so yeah. You just have to kind of go through it and attempt it over a period of time. And eventually you would have, I mean, if you just literally just do a section of the car every weekend, eventually you get to a car that's been really well detailed and looks a lot better than when you got it. So yeah, that's method 2. Squidgy, spread it all around to get rid of the rash, then compound it down, degrease it, finishing compound, degrease it, wax it to protect it, and you're done. So here's a reminder of what it looked like before. You'll see that there's a lot of rash on this bumper, road rash, like very small, minute, white specks on the bumper, also known as road rash, and I was really suffering a lot with it. And even though that's totally clean, it looks dirty, even though I assure you that surface was totally clean. And now this is the after. You can see, okay, we've still got some deeper chips, but the rash is not nearly as bad. You can see it's just definitely a lot more glossier, and this has given me confidence to treat other areas of the car. I also know now which chips are too deep that won't get filled in with this method, that will need the earlier touch up and file down method. But for the really fine rash, it's just not practical to touch it up, and this method works really well. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching.